Alright guys, so today out here messing around with the International. We got a pull Friday, and obviously just been pulling this truck. I pulled the other day, last weekend at Alum Bank, and went to leave, and for some reason I was going to change exhaust housings. I was going to go from 145 back to 132, and yeah, she's tore up. So we had to go back to, this is all ACERT stuff off that, but we had to go back to the stock. I think these are 74.5 millimeters. These stock style cat turbos. So we went back to it, and it did not like it. It just was not enough air. Wasn't happy. So now we're gonna go to our new turbo for on this here little unit. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and dismantle this thing real quick. All right, guys, so obviously it's been a few hours. I got sidetracked with other stuff, and it's dark now and raining. Here's our new unit. This is a eBay 88 millimeter turbo. Like I said, we're allowed 3.6 in this class, which is 91. This is an 88, as it's the biggest cheap turbo that I could find. And I don't want to go to like an S500 frame. I want to stay S400 frame because everything's already there set up for that. So I'm going to grab the elbow, just go ahead and clamp it on because it is raining, and I don't want to spend any more time in the rain than I have to. So obviously we're going to get wet hooking that up. So I'm going to grab our clamp and our elbow. This is ISX Cummins elbow, which basically having that together gives me this outlet, like an S410, like this. So instead of having to worry about this and then that 90, the cat style deal, we can just run a regular S400 of any size and use this Cummins elbow to give us our outlet. All right, so the next thing I want to do is go ahead and take off the oil drain off the old cat turbo and go ahead and put it on this turbo. That just makes life easier for me. Instead of having to try to get to these two bolts while it's on the truck, I can just do it here. And then obviously this drain line's been cut to go from the cat turbo drain to an S400 drain. Alright, so we're back out here. We've got a new gasket. It's a nice thick one to hopefully account for any deformalities in this flange. All right, I'm gonna go grab the turbo. And my goal here, I'm gonna move you guys up here so hopefully you can still see. All right, you guys, I'm back. Here's what we got going on. Went ahead and just did this super core style with dismounting the center section away from the exhaust housing. Now I don't like doing that on like older turbos that have been together for a long time because they're really tough to get apart, and usually tears that clamp up. I always have trouble tearing that clamp up. But being brand new, that's just a lot easier to handle. It's already caulked. The exhaust housing is already caulked where it needs to be. The bolts are tight, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick the downpipe on while I'm here. And then that's one less thing that I have to deal with going forward. All right, so the feed line's on, it's torqued down. The drain line is on, but we need to find a couple clamps. Boy, that is pretty. We'll find a couple clamps and we will finish up that drain line, and then we just need to caulk that housing and get it hooked into the charge pipe, and we're done. Okay, we're back with hose clamps. Okay, and we're back with a clamp. So I'm thinking let's get this situated a little bit. Yep, about like that. Tighten this puppy down. Okay, now let's tighten all this stuff. once again, make sure the wheel spins, doesn't hit anything. Looks good. Kind of extra careful with these fancy Chinese clamps because they're not very good. Tighten up this V-band. All right. All right, guys, we're ready for a fire up. Let's see what goes on. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna let her warm up here for a minute, and as soon as it's warmed up a little, we're gonna go ahead and put it up against the chip and see what it sounds like. First drive here, I can't really see anything, but we're gonna see what it does.